The light of the sun. Hello, welcome everyone. We're so happy to have you all here, the people who are here in the factory and everyone at home in the audience. We have a real treat for you tonight, which is that we have local artists and musicians who came together, and Tommy Jordan and Service Human, who is over there, who composed this beautiful piece they'll be playing tonight, especially for CHERP. Tommy?
the light of the sun. CHERP ready for their beginning of the, it's been 10 or 12 years since this has been coming together. Anyways, we love you, CHERP. Thank you for making the world a better place. And service human is always at your service. Wasn't it wonderful when Fran McDermott said, "My word is my sword, and my sword is my work." And then she said, "I love work," and then she howled like a wolf. I love that. But my word, you take the word word, and you add an S to it, and you have sword, and then if the sword is a sword of light, like in Star Wars, I think we have something there. And I think somehow these are connected. I'm actually just working my way up because I'm very proud of my lightsaber. So I'm going to try to pull this off. I don't know if it's going to work on Zoom, but someone took my problem. But anyways.
Yeah.
I think it's a blue sword or a red sword. It's a golden, I believe. Should we go somewhere, you guys? We're going to do the second verse then. I thought that meant to start.
I can't tell what the end of the watch means. Does that mean keep going or stop?
That long line is really a curve that turns around the bend. I hear the call from a mama bird singing beyond the end. I look to see another bird sing. Another bird flight, another bird in
Welcome. I'm Pomona Mayor Tim Sandoval, and tonight we are here to celebrate a huge achievement: the virtual grand opening of CHERP Solar Works, first nonprofit factory in our very city, the city of Pomona. As you will see tonight, it is the first of many micro solar factories that will form the locally grown power factory network across the United States. We have many supporters and elected officials speaking to us from around the country, including Assemblymember Chris Holden, who helped with the initial funding and who will later share his vision of our future together. Later in the evening, we will show you a drone of the factory, a tour of the factory that will include the making of a solar panel. And of course, I've got my co-MC here, Randy Lopez.
Hello.
I turn it over to you, Randy.
Thank you, buddy. I'm Randy Lopez. I'm Executive Director of the Claremont Chamber and CEO of Ophelia's Jump Theater. We're here tonight to show you all the progress that of everything that is of the people who have supported us from the beginning, and to raise funds for solar systems for our lowest income families. We're going to be fundraising tonight. This is an amazing facility, and we'll be giving you a little bit, some information about it, but if everyone tonight gives $100, that would raise about $80,000 in the next hour. But we know many of you will give so much more. Many of you have given $5, $10, $100 gifts. So tonight is a time to reach down and give as much as you can, because it's the last chance to get your name on the Founders Circle mural, which is right behind us with all the names. Get your name on this mural. Windows will close after today. Without further ado, we'd like to introduce the person that made this happen, Devon Hartman.
Come on up, Devon. Thank you. Thanks.
Really my joy to be standing here welcoming all of you tonight. We've had close to 1,000 RSVPs for the evening tonight. So this is a moment of gratitude for all of us here at CHERP to recognize the journey that we've been on now for the last 10 years, and with this CHERP Solar Works project, the last 6.5 years. And we would not have done this without all of you. We have a representative sampling of some of you and some of the organizations here with us tonight that I'll be introducing. But it's really my privilege to really stand here and be in a moment of gratitude for all of you participating with us tonight from all over the country and even the world. And so what is it that we're really doing here? We're really performing a 21st century act of alchemy. We are transforming photons to electrons to be used for work in this community. We're transforming joblessness to jobs. We're transforming an economic situation in a disadvantaged community, quote unquote, from an economic perspective, into a transformational opportunity to build back from the ground up. So welcome tonight, everyone. It's my privilege and honor to introduce to you Kent Kernahan, the inventor of the technology that we're going to be deploying in this solar factory and many more to come, and the inspiration of the business model where we will be turning competitive businesses into cooperative businesses around the country. So my friend and partner in this adventure, Kent Kernahan.
Thanks, Devon. We may not realize it, but we're all standing in the middle of a thought experiment. It's a fabulous, fully developed, beautiful result. But it's a thought experiment from 2011 nonetheless. The idea of locally grown power as a way to bring back our middle-class employment, to provide a third way to inventors that isn't private equity, that isn't academia, that all started on this road to this factory and this product and this excellent partnership with Devon Hartman here. So if you'll permit me for a second, since we're in a thought experiment now, standing here, let's move to 2035. Let's just take a second, dislocate yourself in time and space, and imagine how much things have changed. A couple of years ago, somebody came up with an idea that allowed us to see all the way from photons to phonons. We could see the whole waterfall of energy falling from the sky, bouncing off of all the surfaces until it finally resolved in the warmth that makes this a planet that's habitable for us. We could see the photons becoming photoelectrons. For the first time, human beings looked at that and said, we live in a world of abundant energy. We really can't imagine what it was like back in the 20s when we had to stick straws in the ground to try to find our energy. It's been all around us all along. Current 15 minutes ago from the sun. A Shalish Indian attended one of my talks recently. He was concerned that this technology would be a second rape of the Earth. But the Earth is in fact 25% silicon and 8% aluminum. The stuff that makes these panels possible. By this time in 2035, one recycled idealPV panel from the 20s will make 20 solar panels. It'll take an energy of about 250 watts, about as much as it takes me to run 3 miles. And so we're on a tremendous journey, one from scavenger hunter to the point of abundant energy. And really we're at that inflection point where this all changes. So enjoy yourself tonight. This is a fabulous facility, a fabulous achievement, and it is just the beginning. Thank you.
So let me describe just a bit about what you might experience this evening. Because of all of you, we have now 5,000 people on our mailing list, and these are people who we know, who have been supporting us all along. What you'll see tonight is a combination of human effort that is joyful. All these people that you'll meet tonight have been helping for the last several years. You're going to see art from the local community and also the art that's envisioned from international artists. You're going to see a factory tour, a drone tour of the factory where we're making our panels for the first time. And you're going to see, you're going to have the opportunity at the end of the evening to join us in breakout rooms for questions. So keep your questions handy, and we're going to be getting to them at the end of this presentation session. And so now it is my honor to introduce to you our Assemblyman Chris Holden.
This is an exciting time, certainly for you and Kent and all the wonderful people who were right there at the very beginning of this enterprise, where we had an opportunity to speak. I think it was up in Mount Baldy at one of my community meetings, and it was the first time that you brought this concept to me and let me know how important it was to take this idea and to not only grow it in the community of Claremont and Pomona, but how it had the potential of being a seed in the ground that could really just exponentially take off around the state of California. And I think that's where we are now. The success that CHERP has had in terms of getting to this place where we have this grand opening today, the chance that I had to come out and see the wonderful grand opening and seeing the folks gather together, the local electeds, labor, all of the conglomeration of people who are a part of this enterprise and what this means as far as a public-private partnership and how it could work, where we're able to get state funding to be able to be the seed money to get going on this project. And now here you are, doing wonderful things, addressing the issue of our environment by creating solar panels, creating jobs, working collaboratively with local government officials, stimulating the growth and development of downtowns in the Pomona area. And certainly as we see ourselves inching out of this pandemic, this is just what the doctor ordered in terms of creating opportunities for people to come together and to be able to have an idea that can not only create jobs, but also is good for the economy. So I wish I was there. I wish we were all there in person, but I've already seen the warehouse. I know the good work that's already happening, and we look forward to being a part of this effort going forward to make sure that not only in the Pomona, Claremont area we see this wonderful enterprise, but throughout the state of California. Congratulations on your grand opening today, and we look forward to having many more up and down the state of California.
I'll introduce that.
Thank you.
Thank
That
you,
was perfect.
Assemblymember.
There's a little bit of a...
This is a significant project for Pomona and the region. This project is a perfect example of the new localism that will increase disposable personal income for our lowest income families for the next 30 years. We're partnering with Claremont to demonstrate the necessity for regional partnerships in fighting the largest challenge of our time. And we're partnering with Pomona Unified School District and other local school districts and LA County workforce development agencies to create good-paying jobs where residents can walk to work, make and install panels on their neighbors' homes and businesses.
And this effort will give us the opportunity to engage the entire community in the vibrancy of re-engineering the local economy through art, volunteerism, and keeping profits local and recirculating. I also want to remind folks that they can donate through our GoFundMe page, which is in the chat function on your screen.
Hello, I'm Assemblymember Freddie Rodriguez. I want to congratulate one of our local nonprofits, CHERP, for opening your first solar power assembly factory in Pomona. This is an incredible opportunity to stimulate our local economy, especially after the pandemic that left many individuals jobless. CHERP is helping address climate change with the production of creating solar panels and creating good jobs. I look forward to your success and welcome to Pomona.
Good evening. My name is Tobias Hecht. I'm a social anthropologist, and I work with CHERP in the areas of deployment, strategy, and research. Most of you will be familiar with the notion of distributed energy. What CHERP is pursuing is a radical extension of that concept, what we call distributed manufacturing. This is in stark contrast to the prevailing method for bringing new technologies to market. The usual practice is to outsource production to a place where labor is cheap and environmental regulations are lax. While this may increase profits for distant investors in the short term, it also relies on inequality as an economic engine while depriving us of the concept of making strategic commodities at home in ways that strengthen communities. We propose an alternative. Distributed manufacturing allows for the creation of jobs where they're needed most, and for those with barriers to entry in the workforce. It seeks to overcome the mismatch between employment and affordable housing, and it puts people first while keeping profits local and recirculating. The Pomona factory was always imagined as a prototype, a stimulus package in a box. Our aim is to create a decentralized network of factories. Each new member brings down the cost of components, enhances the network's efficiency, and multiplies the impact. So I'd like to introduce you to a group of entrepreneurs who want to launch a factory in Detroit. After that, you'll hear from a leader of an addiction recovery center with plans for factories both in West Virginia and in San Bernardino here in California. Thank you.
I was first introduced to CHERP in July of 2020 by an associate in Atlanta, Georgia. And this project seemed to me that it would be great to have this happen in Detroit. So I contacted Keith and Donnell in August and September of 2020 and explained to them this project and what I thought it could do.
We are in crisis as a country, especially here in Detroit. We have our problems, but when people don't have work and people feel that they are disenfranchised, it drives them to be less than they can possibly be, and in fact it makes people do things that end up putting them in jail and doing a lot of other things. CHERP as a solution, the opportunity to give people family supporting wages on the jobs that they have, to put solar on the house, to allow them to have energy at a reasonable price, is a big part of taking us where we need to go, toward environmental justice, toward economic equity, and all the things that brings.
I was drawn to CHERP's work because
It states explicitly that environmental justice is a primary priority for why they do what they do. The foundation of the Green Door Initiative, our mission is all about environmental justice and providing opportunities for people who are disproportionately impacted by environmental problems, who are also disproportionately impacted by unemployment and underemployment. Environmental justice is a core value that we seek to achieve, and the fact that CHERP explicitly identifies that in all of their material is a very important alignment for me.
Our mission is to manufacture, install, and maintain solar panels that can be used by corporations and households, and also to provide sustainable jobs for low and middle income workers. We are about building back better, and we're building back better the backbone of our country.
So my vision for what Detroit will look like once all of this is working well together is Detroit is thriving economically, environmentally, and socially. That's the three-prong for sustainability.
With CHERP, those left behind can build products for their use in their neighborhoods and earn family-supporting wages. And in my mind, that's a win-win.
My name is Jim Pitzenberger. I'm the Senior Vice President of Operations for House of Hope. And House of Hope is a addiction recovery facility that we are working to build 2 locations in the country currently. One in the Upper Ohio Valley, right? So we're talking West Virginia, Ohio, and Pennsylvania. And the second facility in San Bernardino, California. Right? The mission of CHERP is bringing renewable energy to the underprivileged communities, and understanding how doing so can put true revenue back into those communities and help real people. That's what drew me to CHERP. As I look at our programs, I think they mirror one another very well. I think if we look at the House of Hope and bringing hope back to people with addiction, traveling that all the way through job training and creation, is where CHERP then rounds off the whole piece. We will definitely benefit the communities with structured, skilled labor jobs. First and foremost, that's how House of Hope will work through that. Now, through the larger picture of CHERP and the business model that's behind that, we are also then producing green energy that's renewable, that saves people money and puts that money back into the economy. As we look at it, right, you're talking about adding $6 million back into the local economy on a yearly basis, and who can argue with that fact? So today we stand in what will be the first manufacturing plant for CHERP in Pomona, California. As you can see behind me, right, they're standing up all the equipment and actually just waiting for last certifications before they go live. That's exciting to me. It's exciting to understand what that means, because then I need to take those same engineers to West Virginia to lay out our factory there so we can do the same thing. And I think if we look at, be it President Biden's initiatives with infrastructure or green energy, I think that the time couldn't be more right today to do that.
Hello, I'm Athena Hahn, Creative Director for CHERP, and I'm so excited to have all of you here to enjoy this beautiful factory. I'm really excited that part of CHERP's mission is to integrate the community through the arts and to see how arts and industry can merge to create more humane, productive environments. We have a video coming up. Keep forgetting we're remote. Where you'll get to see the artwork, but we're lucky to have 3 of our artists in the virtual community. That's Joy McAllister, Thomas Pathe, and Raul Pizarro. And here we have Juan, Thorp, and Marcella Swett.
I'm so excited to be part of this project. Just just growing up in Pomona and being one of the artists here in the colony, it's like a culmination of so many things. It's such a great project. I appreciate being part of it. Thank you.
And like Juan, I've been a part of this community, and it's just been amazing to be included in this and to show my love for art and share it with others here in this great opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you for being here. I'm Mary Byerly, art director for the CHERP factory. And you may be wondering, why are we putting art in a factory? We have three main reasons. One, art celebrates our community and lifts up our spirits. Two, it creates a visual entry point that helps explain the complex technology and science in our solar panels. And three, it creates an inspiring place for visitors and the people who work here every day. We're just getting started, and they're already telling us how inspiring it is to walk through those doors and see the light, color, and art versus a white factory box.
We have local artist and CHERP's creative director, Athena Hahn's banners, which are not only beautiful to look at, but the artwork on them helps begin a conversation about how sunlight and solar panels will create clean energy for our cities. The factory is also a gallery space for artists with environmental themes. Currently, we have the artwork of Joy McAllister, Thomas Pathé, Raul Pissarro, Marcella Swett, and Juan Thorp. And we are also engaging with our community's schools for science and art projects. And we're just getting started. Our next projects within this factory will be made possible by supporters like you. We will engage with the international artists Peter Erskine and Bruce Odlin. Their goal is to help us create an uplifting environment for everyone who works here every day. Peter Erskine has invented skylight systems that capture sunlight and break it into beautiful shards of prismatic rainbows within our factory. Bruce Odlin, sound thinker and composer, will be capturing the disharmonious factory machine noises and synthesizing them into harmonious sounds through speakers specifically designed for our factory. Your contributions will allow us to build the skylight and install a sound system that will help us humanize our factory.
The Founders Circle mural behind me, also designed by Athena Hahn, honors the hundreds of organizations and people that have helped us with their expertise, their time, and their dollars to make our factory a reality.
We have several opportunities for you tonight. You can sponsor one of our machines, our art projects, or just donate to get your name memorialized permanently on our Founders Circle mural. Go to the link on the screen or in the chat box to donate. Thank you so much. We appreciate all your support.
It's really exciting to see our core energy groups forming around the country. I mean, to think of it, we have the opportunity now to retrain coal miners and fossil fuel workers into green energy jobs. It's completely transformational. And not just any jobs, but good paying jobs with good benefits so the workers can take care of their families. As a reminder, and thank you for the donation so far, please look at our GoFundMe page in your chat function and give.
As you have heard from the speakers today, the work that CHERP is doing in Pomona is vital to our communities and country. This effort will give some of the most underserved and historically marginalized communities the opportunities to have access not only to much needed jobs, but also have access to solar energy. Replicating this local effort across the country will transform lives and communities. At this time, I would like to introduce our next three speakers, Supervisor Hilda Solis, State Senator Connie Leyva, and Congressmember Norma Torres.
Good evening and buenas noches. I want to thank Devon Hartman and the CHERP family for the invitation to join in the celebration of such a monumental achievement. It's not every day that we get to see revolutionary community improvement come to fruition. I'm honored to be able to share in the celebration of the grand opening of the first CHERP nonprofit solar factory. CHERP has an admirable and ambitious goal. An equity-based model aimed at raising the community from the ground up, CHERP will extend opportunities for disadvantaged communities to finally enter the 21st century economy, bringing green, sustainable, and middle-class jobs while providing a pathway for environmental justice and economic growth in the San Gabriel Valley is just the first step. We have the opportunity to show the rest of the country that green energy technologies are sustainable, efficient, and a viable way to stimulate the economy. Tonight's grand opening exemplifies the hope in our community for better days as we come together to help one another, neighbors helping neighbors in our time of need. When we work together, we can accomplish anything. That's why I've worked with state, county, and city officials to assist CHERP to provide the opportunity to the Tri-City area of Pomona, Claremont, and Laverne. But this is just the start. I'm really looking forward to the beginning of phase 2. Once again, let me say thank you to Devon and everyone CHERP for having me here. Congratulations on this first milestone on the path to bringing our communities into a cleaner and greener future for all.
Hi, I'm State Senator Connie Leyva. I would like to thank CHERP Locally Grown Power for inviting me to join you virtually for the groundbreaking of the solar panel assembly factory in Pomona. I am always excited when we're able to expand renewable energy opportunities in economically disadvantaged areas of California, especially in the 20th State Senate District. The Inland Empire is my home, and I am so honored to have the opportunity to support efforts to help create green sector jobs that stimulate our local economy. Since I was first elected, I have worked on and authored a number of bills to protect our environment and communities, as well as ensure environmental justice across our region and state. Of course, as a former labor leader and president of the California Labor Federation, I'm especially delighted that this facility will provide quality jobs and training in this area. I understand that there will also be internship and other opportunities for youth, which can lead to quality jobs and training that over time can help strengthen working families in our communities. Of course, producing these advanced solar panels in our own backyard is so exciting since it can serve as a model for similar projects across California. Again, I thank you for inviting me today and congratulations. I look forward to the great work that you're doing and partnering in the future. Thank you.
Hello, this is Congresswoman Norma Torres. I join our entire community in welcoming CHERP and its cutting-edge solar panel manufacturing facility to the city of Pomona. Green energy is the future, and we need to do everything that we can to help our region and our community lead the way. As we begin to reopen our economy, we must focus on increasing jobs in high-tech manufacturing, which translate into good-paying jobs for our workforce. That is why expanding primary and secondary sources of manufacturing jobs is such an important priority for me in Congress. Every year in August, I dedicate an entire week to touring local manufacturers in our community and hearing directly from them about how we can help their business grow. I look forward to working closely with you to lead the way to good paying jobs and clean energy in our region. Welcome to Pomona, CHERP.
Okay, it's my pleasure now to introduce you to one more group that's studying the feasibility of opening a microfactory in their region. This is the Monterey Bay Economic Partnership in cooperation with the city of Gonzales to our north here in California. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Rene Mendez, City Manager, City of Gonzales. See, I often say nobody wants to harm the world. Everybody wants to talk about how they can sustain the world, but what does that mean to put food on the table? What does that mean to send your kids to college? What does that mean to have a reasonable paying job? And I think that's where sometimes this whole translation between sustainability, climate action, green, really falls. It really does not come down to our communities. How does it pay the bills? And so that's what excites me more about the CHERP model, is that it's taking all that, yeah, you're doing a good thing, but guess what? You're doing a good thing and making a difference at the local community level, at the family level.
Hi, my name is Kate Roberts. I'm President and CEO of the Monterey Bay Economic Partnership, and I'm excited to be part of this project because we really want to have it come to our region here in the Monterey Bay region, Santa Cruz, Monterey, and San Benito counties. And we think it's an excellent way to bring green jobs to our economy, building a needed product in a way that's going to benefit many, many in our communities.
Candidly speaking, the City of Gonzales, we're standing up a $70 million microgrid to power our industrial business park, which is an incredible generator of jobs for the region and the city. So the microgrid is going to have a lot of solar in them. And if you think about the simplicity of having a microgrid that potentially can purchase solar panels here, built by our own community in a nonprofit model, it's a win-win. I think that it creates great jobs. It creates existing jobs in the solar panel creation. It sustains more jobs in the industrial park, better paying jobs, and everybody prospers.
Learning from what is going to be happening in Pomona and applying those learnings to our project here in the Monterey Bay region is really exciting to me, and we can't wait to be able to embrace this project and get it going here.
I'm excited to see it all come together, and frankly, I'm even more excited to take it to the sort of a different level of understanding so we can bring it here to our local region.
I just heard that we had a technical difficulty, and so I would like to reintroduce our Congresswoman to the U.S. House of Representatives, Judy Chu.
Hello, I'm Congressmember Judy Chu, and I'm thrilled to celebrate with you the grand opening of CHERP's new solar panel factory in the city of Pomona. It was just a few years ago when the district lines changed, and I had the honor of representing the city of Claremont as part of my congressional district. And I quickly learned that one of the most important organizations in the city was CHERP, a small but mighty organization whose goal was to retrofit as many homes as possible to combat climate change. Every year, you accomplish the task you set out to do, and in the process, you've grown to be a force for change. It is truly incredible how far you've come. Today, we celebrate the grand opening of a new solar factory, but more importantly, we also celebrate a new way forward in fighting climate change and addressing social inequalities. This facility will create some of the most technologically advanced solar panels in the world, all of which will go to low to moderate income households at no cost to the consumer. In doing so, CHERP will be able to greatly reduce our carbon footprint and bring clean, affordable energy to some of our most vulnerable populations. And in the process, this solar factory alone will create a total of 763 new jobs when it reaches peak production, including 213 manufacturing and construction jobs. And I'm excited to say this is only the beginning. CHERP has ambitious plans to replicate this model in other parts of the state and eventually across the country. What is important to keep in mind is that CHERP is leading the way in showing the country that we can successfully grow the economy, address social inequalities, and combat climate change all at the same time. Congratulations again to Devon Hartman and his team at CHERP for the remarkable work you are doing. I look forward to working with you to address some of the most challenging issues of our time. Thank you.
I'm really excited to introduce to you next two of our new friends. The first one is Richard Zeteljski from Homeboy Industries, with whom we are forming a strategic partnership to open a factory in East Los Angeles, as well as Marcella Dubie-Uribe from WEDAX, the Workforce Development and Adult Community Services for the County of Los Angeles.
Good afternoon, everyone. And I am so happy to be here virtually to celebrate this wonderful grand opening for CHERP. I'm representing Homeboy Industries. I've been a board member there for 10 years. My name is Viktor Zeteljski. And so on behalf of our founder, Father Greg Boyle, and our CEO, Tom Bozo, I'd like to congratulate Devon and Kent and the entire team that has pulled this together. And we are so excited at Homeboy to be potentially a part of the CHERP story going forward, because we have discovered that our mission and our values are so much aligned. So who are we at Homeboy Industries? In case you haven't heard about us, we're the largest prison reentry program in the United States. We serve formerly incarcerated gang members in Los Angeles who typically have felony records, have served decades in the prison system, but now have voluntarily chosen to come to Homeboy to transform their lives. And so we provide them with therapeutic services, mental health services, to try to recover from the trauma that both they have experienced and have inflicted on others. We also provide them with practical social services like tattoo removal, getting a driver's license, getting a GED for a high school diploma, and having parenting and visitation rights for their children. And the last part, we provide them with job training and placement skills. And that's where CHERP comes in. We already have about a dozen social enterprises that we're involved in. And one of them is solar panel installation. And that's how I first became aware of CHERP. So it was very fortuitous and serendipitous that I was on a Zoom call with Devon and got to know about CHERP. And lo and behold, we now have the opportunity to actually launch a Homeboy solar panel factory with the assistance, of course, of CHERP. So we've got a sister corporation we've set up at Homeboy called the Homeboy Ventures and Jobs Fund. And this is a unique structure where we are raising money just like a venture capital fund, but instead of measuring our return on investment dollars, we're measuring our return on new jobs created for those who have the most difficult time finding employment. And we hope to have all of our businesses that we invest in or launch become profitable and return a positive cash flow. And by doing so, we don't send the money back to our donors. We, in fact, put it back into the fund and thereby create a perpetual fund that will continually create new jobs. So that's where we think we would fit with solar panel manufacturing and assembly. This is by far the biggest endeavor we would have ever undertaken. And so, yes, we're looking for a location not too far from downtown Los Angeles where we have our headquarters. We need funding, hopefully from government sources. We need customers to buy the solar panels, but we're working on all of that. And so if everything goes according to plan, you should expect to get an invitation maybe a year from now for the grand opening of the Homeboy solar panel manufacturing plant. So we can all be looking forward to that. So thank you very much. God bless you all.
Thank you, Victor. What an excellent segue. Good evening, everyone. My name is Maritza Dubie-Uribe, and it is my pleasure to be representing the Los Angeles County Workforce Development Board on behalf of its Executive Director, Martha Molina Aviles. And we are so pleased to be a part of this historic event. Not only have we been thought partners with the whole CHERP team, but we are also very much involved in really providing services to a great population in terms of size that Victor mentioned. Reentry population is one of our priority populations, also foster youth, veterans, homeless youth. I mean, this is really a marriage, I would say, made in heaven. This is really a perfect public-private nonprofit partnership. I really urge you to support the cause. We know for a fact that if you provide jobs to young people from early on, it will have generational effects. They have the likelihood of creating wealth. We are very committed to leveraging the resources we have within our workforce development area, so much so that we even have an innovation fund to support the initial training and wages for some of these individuals once they are hired. So it is a pleasure to again be a part of this historic effort, and we look forward to really expanding this flagship across the county. So we're counting on you to help us do this. Let's do it. Si se puede.
Thank you, Maritza. We appreciate your kind words and powerful words of energy and encouragement. I want to thank Devon and this entire team and all the partners for this incredible endeavor right here in our community in Pomona. Our Board of Education, just to let you know who the heck is Richard Martinez, I am serving as Superintendent of Schools for Pomona Unified School District. Our Board of Education, the entire organization is so grateful for this partnership and for being able to have it at our local educational center, the Village at Indian Hill. CHERP, a nonprofit solar panel manufacturer company in Pomona, offers the following to our students and to our community. It offers options, opportunity, and also ultimately outcomes for a community of our students, parents, and residents. Options and choices, we're able to prepare our students to consider college, but even before that, some students aren't yet there. It's preparing them for potential careers. This is an opportunity for them to be trained in a certain place. It's an opportunity to receive an apprenticeship and a certification in a particular job. It also gives them choice. And that's something a lot of people that land jobs, they didn't choose it. They land jobs, and in many cases, they don't enjoy what they're doing. This is that opportunity for them to look at options. It's an opportunity for them to explore the potential, to explore what's possible for them as an individual, to consider as one position, maybe in one of 15 positions they'll have in the lifetime of their job career. Also for outcomes, it's contributing to a community. It benefits individuals, organizations, and of course our planet by creating a cleaner energy source. Living wages is important for our community so that way they can give back, but also be able to self-sustain and support a family. It also gives them additional training opportunities to become specialists, to become leaders in a particular area. And then ultimately, I still think that there's that outside chance that student who may not have wanted college initially, they may have a chance to consider higher education after getting experience in something like this company. Ultimately, it brings happiness to a family, to an individual, and satisfaction. And as a community, it enhances our workforce here in Pomona. Once again, I want to thank CHERP, our partners, for contributing to the success of this nonprofit organization and more importantly to the community of Pomona. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Jason Flater and I'm the Director of Manufacturing.
My name is Ron Crisp. I'm the Senior Design Engineer.
On behalf of the CHERP team, we are extremely proud given all the obstacles we've faced this past year. We are the only solar factory in the USA to open during this COVID pandemic. We've recently finished setting up all of our machines and are officially in our pre-production phase, having made a few test panels for our preparation for UL submittal by July. What's even more exciting is the initial testing data we have been compiling shows our panels are performing far better than expected.
We will receive our UL certifications by end of summer, at which point we will be making panels for production and all pre-purchased systems. Our Pomona factory is just the beginning. CHERP is now transitioning into its role as solar factory builders for other disadvantaged communities. We already are in discussions with 8 other cities to provide them with a complete turnkey solar factory and all necessary support services using our Pomona factory as the model. We are now ready to help launch the locally grown power solar factory network across the USA. We'd like to welcome you to our factory.
Well, it's a lot of information, and the solar tour, if you're here live like we are, there is so much going on. It's just an amazing opportunity for the community, amazing machines, artwork. So we have some time to spend with you. What we're going to be doing now is going over some of the, well, proof points, I guess, or just kind of some of the impact of what's happening. And while we're talking, you know, get your phone going. Pick up your phone and make a donation. We're going to try to raise some money right now. So let me start off. So this facility will bring in about $6.5 million per year back into the local economy for the next 30 years for each 6,000 households served.
And I want you to think about the jobs that will come as a result of this project. Over 700 direct and indirect jobs, and think of how critical that is, particularly to a family, right, who needs a good paying job, good benefits. Here's an opportunity. This is an opportunity for you to make a contribution to that effort.
Right. And in terms of impact, there's a Superior Tech. This business has 2 patents and 6 more patents are pending. So that's what patents pending. I always wondered, okay. Deploy first for underserved and low-income communities.
And workforce development. We are not only building a solar module assembly factory, but also a workforce development factory. The idea of having cohorts of people who are trained on solar jobs and then sent onward into other industries and union jobs.
Your funds go to support a lot of different things. We need money to create pieces of art like what you see here.
So if you ever have a chance to be in this place, this solar factory, it is a beautiful space. All of you have had a chance to see a little of it, particularly the art, skylight, and I believe it's Bruce's sound system. Bruce's sound system, yes.
Yeah, so I guess if you want to make a donation, you could just earmark it on CHERP and just say for Bruce's sound system. We also have various art pieces in the factory. This, as you can see, we're giving a chance for local artists to do some work here.
And this factory projects 700% local economic growth for every dollar spent.
There's independent modeling for the Pomona factory project. 700% goes into, oh, you just said that. Did I just say that?
You know what, that's what happens.
I got caught.
Right, yes.
Yeah, I got caught.
As you can see, we're very well practiced.
Yeah, we're really good.
Yeah.
So a couple of things. I'm going to throw an extra one. So we keep our profits circulating locally. It's made locally, everything's installed locally, it's serviced locally. Also, a bit of trivia for those of you that are from this area. We are next door to what used to be Zody's. And that was just an important piece for me.
What is that?
Zody's?
No, I'm kidding.
Oh, Zody's was.
Yeah, we used to shop there when I
Zody's was the Gemco of Whitefront.
Yeah. That is correct. and well, I'm going to also add that you don't know this, but there used to be a movie theater here and a Sears long ago.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, it's a great place.
I'm old.
As am I. Yeah, so one of the other things that we know from this project is we will see an increase in the disposable personal income of the lowest income households, get this, by $6.5 million per year through local deployments.
There's a lot of great missions for this organization. The 4 pillars of this mission are mitigating carbon emissions, creating local jobs, stimulating the local economy, and bringing environmental justice.
And there's broad-based support from organizations like certainly the state of California, SCAG, which is the Southern California Association of Governments, which I serve on, the U.S. Department of Energy, Haynes Foundation, LA County, REDF, and we always know what these acronyms mean.
Right, I'm going to go with it.
And hundreds of local donations. So I want you to see this wall behind us. Please make a donation, get your name on this wall by donating to the CHERP Solar Factory right here in the city of Pomona.
And again, with some of the names we're seeing, I'm just going to read some out because we have the California Botanic Garden, Eureka, Suncrest Bakery, Don Gould.
Ophelia's Jump.
Ophelia's Jump is there? Wow. Christy Billick, Inland Valley Repertory Theater, Matthew Lyons, Tutamanja, Sam Pedroza. We know Sam.
Yeah.
Richard Olson, David Contreras.
I see one of my good friends here, Danny Oaxaca. He used to head the San Gabriel Valley Conservation Corps. We have a Beth Benjamin, Hey, look at there, Michael Thomas. I think that's Michael Thomas from Workforce Development.
Okay.
So you want to have your name. Look at the numbers are coming in. We're at 9,688. Let's get us over to 10,000 and meet our goal of 35,000.
So, and we, CHERP received the 2020 Outstanding Sustainability Achievement Award from Southern California Association of Governments.
Wow, that's impressive. This project, this CHERP project, is a strategic. It's also, think about this, and you mentioned this earlier. Randy's in Claremont.
Right.
I'm in Pomona, and this is a partnership between the two cities.
Yeah,
which
it really
is
is.
so important as we think about some of the challenges that we face as a region. Is cities coming together to help address important issues around climate change, and think about how significant this project is.
It really is, and I just can't speak too much about that because the names that you see are from both cities. They're from residents all over the place. People in this community, we're all celebrating kind of the rebirth of this mall, of what's happening, and for something that is just going to be adding so much. I also personally have to say I added solar to my house just this last year, and it's amazing. So to have something here with jobs and some resources that are, again, the other thing too, you and I were just talking about it, the idea of this being a nonprofit solar factory that it hasn't been done before is crazy.
Yeah, we thought that, wow, in the entire world,
right,
that this is the first, 8 minutes? All right, we're going to keep going. We're going to keep asking, all right? But think about that. The first nonprofit factory. We're looking right over there. Got to give a big hand to the cameramen. They just love doing this with amateurs like me.
And again, if you can get your organization, if you're a nonprofit or a for-profit business organization, someone who's committed to the community, someone who's committed to bringing jobs, of bringing something that is going to outlive all of us, make a donation, be a part of this, get your name on this wall. These names are going to be here for a long time. And they're going to continue whether or not this building gets even bigger. And again, they're going to have more buildings. So be a part of this right now at the ground level. It's so important.
Yeah, absolutely. And we keep emphasizing the types of jobs that will be coming. And I think all of us are very, very aware of the real climate challenges that we face in this country. You can see it and feel it. And this is an important opportunity for you to contribute, because I can tell you that the kinds of jobs that will be created here, green jobs, we're talking about impacting working class people who live in this community, who need good paying jobs. Oftentimes they're relegated to jobs that don't pay well, don't offer benefits. And here you have the opportunity to contribute to make sure that people who are living in this community can afford to live here because they have a job at the CHERP Solar Factory.
Yeah, an important point is that employment through each facility will lead to a $14.2 million increase in the size of the local economy after 15 years. So it's dramatic.
And the other piece that's important to remember is that this is just one of many projects happening in the city and happening in the region. It's important for us to be connected to those efforts that are happening around creating green space in our community, creating bike lanes so that people can get to and from the beautiful, beautiful places here in the region. So I know that this is part of a larger effort to have a positive impact on this region.
And again, every name you see here are basically organizations and people that have just put their money where their mouth is and said, we want to be a part of this. We believe in this cause. We believe in this nonprofit. We want to support it. We right now are about $10,000. Oh, we just went to $11,000.
Wow, we just passed the $10,000.
This is where we asked for a tippany.
$11,013.
Yeah, as I turn into my inner Ed McMahon. We're at $11,013. Please, yes.
Please keep giving. We appreciate it.
We have phone operators off-site that are taking your calls. I always wanted to say that. It's not really happening now because they just click and get money.
Well, I remember watching those shows where you're sort of sitting and you're getting phone calls.
Right.
And you're actually taking, is that what you were saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Again, we're old.
That we are.
Please give some money.
I think you're a little older, Randy, so stop repeating that, okay? All right. And we're just learning. I just met Randy 5 minutes ago. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding, Randy.
Yeah, we've never known. No. But again, this is just a part of the community. I grew up from Pomona and Upland in this area. I grew up here. Yeah. And again, I cannot stress the importance of seeing this revitalization, particularly right now after COVID, where there's just, we're coming out. And to give optimism, to be able to provide optimism to these students, these people that will be finding jobs, that it's a new, to be working in a place like this at the ground level and learning a career that is going to just take off. Again, this is sustainability at its finest.
Absolutely.
So again, your support makes this happen.
And I didn't share this with you, but earlier today, I was asked to speak at the Claremont University Club.
You didn't share that?
I didn't share that. And one of the things that I talked about is a little bit of the history of this region and how important agriculture was to the health and wellness of this region. And of course, post-World War II, this region, General Dynamics played a critical role.
Right.
And that transition out of General Dynamics has been a real challenge for this community. And really, this factory, this solar factory, represents hope.
It really does.
Represents possibility. It represents an opportunity for people to be able to do something that's even beyond themselves. Right. Not only a good paying job, but actually providing solar, and I've said this before, but providing solar particularly to some of the most marginalized communities.
Yes.
Some of our lowest income. So this is not just about jobs, this is also about reducing energy costs for some of our most vulnerable community members. And that's important because what that means is that they'll have more disposable income to be able to spend on other things that are important in their household.
Actually, that is an important piece that I really want to bring that home, that when people do not have to put the money on their utilities of other things and have that disposable income, that goes local. That supports our local businesses, that supports our boutiques, our mom and pops, and helps this community. So you're lifting all boats with your donations right now.
Absolutely. And so, as we have said, this wall here is a part of history. It's a part of you, the donor, saying that you believe in this project, you want to see it happen. Let's make it happen. We're going to read a few more names as we sort of close this out this evening. All right, I see some other names here. Jefferson Welsh. Right.
There's Lori Pittman.
Hey, listen, Don Gould is a brother.
Okay.
I see some other folks down here. Oh, look at that. Jed Liano, council member Jed Liano, if you're watching.
Yeah,
Great.
Citrus Grove Distillery. Every drink you have at Citrus Grove helps this cause.
Absolutely. And Peter Corson.
Mike Caldwell. All of a sudden, and the more names, Randall Lewis is here. Thank you, Randall.
Margaret from the DA. Margaret Ashley from
Margaret,
the DA.
we were talking about her.
Matthew Lyons.
Paul Steffen.
Wow.
The more names, we want this to really look like Willy Wonka's building that had the small names and small letters. That's kind of the goal of this. Chris Veers, we just saw him a little bit ago. Richard Worthington, Mark Ashworth.
Oh, Richard Worthington. I remember Professor Worthington from Pomona College.
Oh, really?
Yeah, years ago.
Did you get a pass? Did you pass it?
I didn't have his class. I just knew him.
Oh, okay.
We did some community work together.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
good. I was just trying to find
some. It's coming to an end here, Randy. Our time as MCs is coming to an end, and what are we gonna say?
I don't know. I just want to say, you know what? Probably the only thing I'm going to say is thank you, Devon. Thank you to our entertainers, our teams, everybody behind the scenes that made this possible tonight. It's been a fantastic event.
And we want to thank the donors. Want to thank our donors for making this possible. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
everyone. Please have a good evening. Thank you. Oh, we have 20 more seconds.
Okay.
What are we going to do?
This is the song I told you about.
Okay.
Yeah,
on
this
three.
was you were going.
1, 2. I'm kidding.
Yeah, we go to
I'm
karaoke.
kidding.
But again, thank you. We are still taking donations. Please give, and thank you.
Thank you. Have a good evening, everyone.
Let me go off.
Well, thank you, everybody, for staying with us for this hour. It's been a joy and a pleasure to be with you all, and I'm grateful to every one of you for all of your support and being with us here tonight. I'd like to leave you with a thought. Jennifer Granholm the head of the Department of Energy, has just stated a goal for the United States that the Department of Energy wants to get to 100% clean electricity by the year 2035. In order to do that, we're going to need hundreds of millions of solar panels. Currently, every solar panel that is being placed on buildings and homes today in the United States is coming from out of the country. This is creating billions of dollars of trade deficit. We're hoping to turn that whole scenario on its head by starting this factory that will grow into a network of locally grown factories across the country. So we're starting an initiative right now called the 435 Democratic Energy Initiative. We have 435 congressional districts in this country, and our goal is to have a solar factory in each congressional district across the country. So stay tuned, stay joined with us, and right now I would like to have everybody please come with me, behind me, so that we can celebrate the opening of this factory. Please come over now. I want everybody in the frame. This is symbolic of all of you watching and all of our 5,000 people who are around the country who are supporting us. I want to say once again, thank you all. Thank you all for joining us on Zoom, joining us live, and joining us in the factory. Here is the way we get things done, and that is as a huge team. Come on in. Thank you very much, everybody. I think we can get everybody in here. We would have loved to have had several hundred people on site, but we'll do that in a few months once we've opened. So thank you, everybody, for joining us. We are now in full celebration mode as we celebrate the opening of the CHERP Solar Works first factory of the locally grown power national network. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, Martino. To the earth, you owe me. Look what happens with a love like that. Look what happens with a love like that. It lights the whole sky. Look what happens with a love like that. It lights the whole says to the earth, you owe me. Look what happens with a love like that. Look what happens with a love like that. It lights the whole sky. Look what happens with a love like that. It lights the whole promises to the earth. You owe me. Look what happens with a love like that. Look what happens with a love like that. It lights the whole sky. Look what happens with a love like that. It lights the whole when I see the sun rising up behind that long horizon line, I hear the call from a little bird singing in morning light. I live to hear another bird reply. Another bird reply, another bird in flight, another bird in light. Another bird reply, another bird in flight, another bird in light. A boomerang returning, an echoing yearning is following through the light of the sun. Calling. That long line is really a curve that turns around the bend. I hear the call from a mama bird singing beyond the end. I look and see another bird ascend. Another bird in flight, another bird in flight, another bird in light. Another bird reply, another bird in flight, another bird in light. A boomerang returning, an echoing yearning is following through the light of the sun. Calling, learning flight from falling, a particle castling is swan diving through the light of the sun, the light of 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 the sun, light of the sun, light of the sun, light of the light of the light of the sun, light of the light of the light of yeah 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 yeah, the light of the sun.